The menu system. My God, look at this thing. Possibly the hardest boss in the game. Now, rather than waiting until the end to learn how to use the menu like most people in Monster Hunter do, I can't recommend enough. Learn it right now, guys. It's a lot easier than I thought it was. First things first, we got to differentiate between your item box and your pouch. So let's go into the tent to showcase this a little bit more clearly, right? So when you go into your transfer items list, you have an option to go through your item pouch, right? Which is here. But down here is your item box. You'll see this in shops when you go and you purchase things. It asks if you want to send items to the item box or to the pouch. Where I was confused at first too, because I would try to buy so many things, but it said I could only hold 2 of this item. I can only hold 3 of this item. Sometimes I could hold 10 of another item, but that was because it was the item pouch and not the box. The box lets you store as many of whatever item it is you want in here, but the pouch you're very limited. So a lot of times when you go out on an expedition, you'll collect and craft a whole bunch of stuff, and I highly recommend you do that. Pick up a bunch of ingredients and everything that you can find, because everything will be useful at least towards the end of the game. Monster fluid, stuff to make immunizers, that kind of deal. But oftentimes when you come back, you'll find random stuff in here like herbs, antidote herbs, fire herbs, things that you pick up, right? But you don't want to keep running around with these in your inventory. Oftentimes, I'll be making sure to throw these back in the item box whenever I can and minimize how much stuff is here. And I know I have a lot of stuff in here right now, but that's for the sake of this video, just to show you guys how to craft stuff. You won't always have a whole bunch of things here. So that's the main thing I want to talk to you guys about: the item pouch versus the item box. Item box, unlimited storage. Item pouch, limited storage. For example, I can't put more than 1 pitfall trap, at least right now, or shock trap into my item pouch, but I can have over 10 of them sitting in my item box. So when you start up the game, you're going to get access to Jack. He's a provision stockpile, otherwise known as the item shop. Over here, when you talk to Jack, you could purchase items, but this is the thing that was confusing me at first. Item pouch versus item box. Item pouch, if you come in here, I can't purchase any of this stuff. And as a matter of fact, my item pouch is actually full right now. I can't get like anything extra that's already at the cap at least. But if you go to item box, you'll see that you can get as many of these as you want. I can get 2,047 if I wanted to. Yes, blow out all my money on those trap tools. And anything you purchase from here goes directly into your item box, which is shown on the right side of your screen right here. Now, the main reason you want to know that is because when you hold down L1 or the left bumper, you can bring up the radio menu and also your item pouch right here. Your bottom right here, this is your item pouch, guys. So navigating this at first was pretty tricky, because sometimes you'll see the same commands on here that are here. And if you go down to your essential items, which is by default already set up, and you look around here, yours isn't going to look like this. Mine actually had the barbecue cooktop, the capture net, fishing rods, and all that stuff, which I feel like is not really necessary to have in this radio. You could totally use this for something else, which is what I did. And to be honest, guys, I don't recommend having your barbecue and your fishing rod and stuff on the item pouch menu. You can actually get messed up a lot of times in battle, and I'm sure this happened to many of you in the beta, where you were in the middle of battle, you're still getting used to the controls, you pressed L1 by accident, was mashing square at some point, highlighted the barbecue and started cooking in front of the monster and got destroyed. So to prevent that from happening, we actually can do that in the tent. You can also do it from the options, but this gives you a better scope of things. So in the item pouch, yours isn't going to look like this by default. What you can do is you can press L3 or the left stick down, and it's going to bring up these loadouts. People can customize loadouts. There's a lot that you can actually have, which is kind of insane for different fights. You can actually upload these and people can use them, which is pretty dope. I'm using loadout 3 because it generally has a majority of the stuff that you're going to be using from now until endgame, right? I highly recommend you use that one, and it'll look like mine. But you'll notice that you still have the camping kit, the portable barbecue grill, and all this other stuff in there. But yours will look like this. Like, you'll have them white, and this means that this icon on the top right of them means that they'll appear in your item pouch, which you don't want because it does mess you up in combat, man. So click on it once. You're gonna click the A button or the X button on all of these. I'm going to leave the mantles because I feel like I'm going to be using them. And I'm going to drop the throwing knife. I never use whetstone from that specific menu, so I'm just going to drop that as well. Paint pod, I'll keep there just in case. And any of the other items, you can customize however you want. Whatever you use, whatever you need to use per encounter, make it custom to you. Now that we got that, let's customize our radio menu. So by default, like I said, your essential items down here is going to be the barbecue pit and all that other stuff that we just marked that we didn't want to show up in our item pouch. I went ahead and I made a new loadout for that off to the side so I don't click it by accident in combat. I put the camping kit and all that stuff that was previously on the item pouch in here. I recommend you guys go ahead and do that, just so it's like something you don't accidentally toggle in battle. So now, just to show you guys what it looks like, if I come out into the world and I hold down my radio menu and I want to go to, let's say I press down and I want to access my other stuff, maybe craft some things on the fly in the middle of battle, I can do that. However, if you do want to use your barbecue pit, all you got to do is go to the bottom right. See that new loadout that we just created? It's right there. You just go down to the bottom right and you can now select things from here. Simple as that. Mastering these systems are key to Monster Hunter, in my opinion. I mean, yes, there's a lot of menus. It can get confusing, but after you play for a while, you'll get used to it. But it's better to do this in the very beginning before you get used to however your menus have always been set up, and then you have to, now in endgame, get accustomed to new stuff. I can't recommend it enough. I think this is one of the most important things, guys. So now when you cycle through the item pouch on the bottom right, you have the essentials. Things in here that you're gonna be constantly using. You could probably remove the dung pods. I don't think you'll need both of them. The well done steak is really clutch. There's a lot of times you'll find yourself in this game where you run out of your food buff just because you were just standing around or roaming around, and you'll get into a big fight and you don't have any health or stamina. Just eating a well done steak by itself will give you the health and stamina buff. Now you won't get the extra bonuses unless you go to a barbecue grill and cook from it, but this is good to have for that sake. Now we're back in the base camp and we're going to talk about crafting. The crafting menu is pretty straightforward and kind of easy to figure out. There are certain items in here that'll already have this toggle on to auto craft. You disable and enable this by pressing the right stick. I disabled it and now I enabled it. This makes it so that anytime you pick up a combination of these two items in the wild, if you pick up an herb, it'll automatically create a potion as soon as possible. This won't automatically create something from your pouch, but it only auto creates something off of you picking it up, which I don't recommend for traps and flash pods and stuff. For healing items, yeah, for sure, you definitely want to have this set to auto for some of them, but not all of them. So just to show you guys an idea on how to craft, you can click on this right here and it'll highlight the potion, because every herb I have, it'll create a potion. Simple, straightforward. There are combination items. So you need a potion and honey in order to create one mega potion. So that's 2 items in order to create one thing. And eventually you'll come across items that you don't have inventory or stock of. And if you create it, you'll understand and learn that. But that's only if you have the materials for it. There's a question mark thing right here. Nourishing extract and armor skin. If I create this, what does it turn into? Mega armor skin. Let's go. Temporarily boosts your defense even more than regular armor skin. This is very good for late game stuff. Dung pods is one of those things that's already set by default to automatic. You don't want to spend time crafting these. Just pick them up and let them turn into pods so you can use them. And sometimes you'll come across this situation here where it says I can create an armor skin, but I don't have any catalyst. However, because the word catalyst is highlighted in yellow, it actually means I can craft catalyst. So if I double click this, they made it pretty streamlined. You don't have to navigate and go all the way back to catalyst here in order to make them. I mean, you could if you're a crazy person, but all you got to do is click on armor skin, click on catalyst, it'll bring it up here and it'll already combine the bitterbug broth and honey that you need in order to make one catalyst. And then you come back here and now look at that, you can make one more armor skin. Crafting is very streamlined. Go through this list and see all the things that you can craft at this time. There might be some more things than I have, there might be some less. But as you progress through the game, you'll continue to expand your list. So you'll see in a lot of speedrunners videos and also really proficient people in combat, they'll be utilizing their flash pods to absolutely stun enemies. And a lot of times in fights, you'll see them use them more than 3 times. How is that even possible? That's because they're crafting on the fly. In order to make a flash pod, you actually need flashbug phosphor, which I have 3 of. Now, in order to easily craft in the middle of combat, we're going to go to customize radial menu. We're going to go to our main one that we are using, and we're going to add flash pods to here, but we're not going to add it in the normal way. What we're going to do is, as a matter of fact, let me remove it. We're going to click on this bottom right, or you click wherever it is you want. We're going to cycle all the way to the crafting list. And in the crafting list, we're going to go until we find the flash pods, and then we're going to click on it. And now it's going to say, hey, what number of flash pods do you want to craft? Do you want it anytime you click this, if you're out, for it to craft one by one or all at the same time? Personally, for flash pods, I'd rather just make them all at the same time. Get from 0 to 3 as much as possible. And there you go. It's on the bottom right now. Anytime I use it in combat, if this icon is green, that means it's going to make flash pods. If it's not green, that means I have them in stock and it's not going to make it until I run out. In this example, we are using flash pods, but you can absolutely do this for any other item that you would like to craft in the middle of battle. So you see on the bottom right, we actually have 8 out of 10 dung pods. If you go into the crafting list, you'll see that's one of the items that we actually have set to auto craft anytime we pick up any materials to make it, because it's not really something that we're actively going to be trying to make, right? See, I can make some more right here, but since it's set to auto with the toggle switch right there, if I pick one up, it automatically made it. As a matter of fact, it made 2 and it filled out my entire stack and dropped a heavy explosion pod. I have the flash pods equipped, and we're gonna get into a quick battle and just show you guys an example of how this stuff is supposed to work. Oh wow, that actually missed. RIP. So let's just go ham and waste these out, right? We'll just completely burn these out. Throw another one down, and you'll see we ran out of pods. So what we can do now is quickly select our flash pod right there, and you'll see now we have another 3 immediately. Going to be different for a lot of people. Not everybody's going to run the same exact crafting thing. I just want to show you guys how possible it is to actually do this in a battle and how effective it can be, especially against like a flying enemy. I should have done that against a flying enemy, but you guys get the idea, man. Flash pods, they're really good, and especially if your entire team is using this, you're gonna get fast times against Ray Dow and Archveld if you run across them, guys. And of course, you can craft ammo on the fly in combat as well. We're using the heavy bowgun right here. Let's actually cycle to a different ammo, right? We'll cycle to the demon ammo. And say we use, well, you wouldn't ever really do this, but if you ever run out of like demon ammo, like say I don't have any more in the, I only had 2, I used them up. You can actually craft it as well if you have the materials on you. So in order to craft this, you'll see I needed to have a might seed on me because it combines a might seed with the normal ammo. And in my actual ammo menu here on the bottom right, I have the ability to craft demon ammo. So if I click on that, it'll say it right there, and there you go. We got 3 demon ammo crafted now. The same goes for all other ammo as well. It is going to maximize your gameplay in all the best ways, I promise you. I think from the quick radio menu, it's absolutely beneficial to put quick craft options that you're trying to make on the fly in there, specifically when it comes to flash pods, shock traps, even whatever works best for you. And that, guys, is how this game's menus work. See, it wasn't that confusing. It's just overwhelming at first because there's a lot they're throwing at you in the beginning, but once you get this down pack, it's so super easy to navigate. I can't recommend it enough. I do have a theory. I know we talked a lot about flash pods in this, but do you know, like, when you actually get a dragon or a flying enemy stuck in a pitfall trap or a shock trap, they always fly up afterwards? That is an opportunity to throw a flash pod down and then stun them from the air and make them fall. I wonder if you and a bunch of teammates just keep looping that over and over again. Say somebody puts down a pitfall trap, they trap them, you deal some damage, and when they fly up, somebody throws a flash pod down. Then with the flash pod down and they're stunned, somebody puts another trap down, and rinse repeat. Can you do this to cheese fights? I really want to test that out with a bunch of you guys later on. But there you have it. That's how you guys use the items menu, use the radio menu, and also the item pouch on the quick fly, as well as crafting in the middle of battle. Super useful. Comment down below if you have any other questions. We got a lot of other guides in the works, and you don't want to miss out on that. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you are new. More Monster Hunter videos are on the way, and you don't want to miss them. My name is Blitz, and thanks for watching.